A few months ago, I read a famous novel by a guy called Herman Melville. You might have heard of him. It's called Moby-Dick, and people are going hog wild over this book. People love it. People think it's one of the greatest books. And you know what? I liked it. I thought it was great. Now, in this video essay, I'm going to explain Moby-Dick to you from memory. So I won't be referring to the book. I won't be opening it. I will not be putting page numbers. None of that. Because frankly, who has the time? Who has the time? So, we're going to be talking about Moby-Dick. Now, this book has a character called Call Me Ishmael is his name. His name is Ishmael. And he meets a character called Queequeg, who they become good friends, and they go on a boat. Now, when they go to the boat, they meet two proprietors who, they have something called a boat, and it's an expensive boat. It's one of the most expensive boats that they ever did, and it's a whaling ship. Now, they go to this boat, and they say, I want on this boat. Put me on it. Sign me up. Because what they want to do is they want to go on a whaling adventure. Now, at first, the proprietors are like, I don't know. How can I know your qualifications, for example? But Queequeg spins his harpoon. He spins it around. He whirls it around, and he knocks the guy's hat off. He knocks his hat off his head. And the other proprietor sees this, and he's like, we gotta have this guy. We gotta have this guy on our boat. Sign him up. Give him full pay, you know. So they get him on the boat. And they're like, so who's the captain? Who's the captain? And they're like, oh, he's this great guy. His name is, I think he's called Captain Ahab. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So they go into town, and they go to get some dinner or whatever. And they run into this crazy old man who's like, beware, Captain Ahab is a maniac. That's what he says. He says that to them. And they're like, calm down there, buddy. Hold your horses. I'm sure he's a perfectly normal man. I'm sure he's a totally normal guy. They're like, oh, he can't possibly be a maniac. There's just no chance. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. So they go and get their dinner or whatever, and they go to church, and the guy at the church is like, I used to be on a whaling vessel, and I saw sights that were unbelievable. I saw whales. I saw water. I saw a seagull. And he says, God himself lives at the bottom of the ocean, is what he says. Something like that. I don't remember. I read this book a long time ago. And there's a scene where they look at a painting of a doomed whaling vessel. Ishmael looks at this painting and he says, what a grim portent. This is certainly an omen. A portentous omen is what he says. And he just kind of comments to himself. So anyway, they get on the boat and they set sail. They set sail. And they're sailing through the water. And, there's all kinds of things that they see out there. They see all kinds of boats. They see clouds. They see the sunrise. And they listen to the waves. Now, one day, while they're sailing around looking for whales to kill so they can get their bones or whatever, Captain Ahab stomps onto the deck. This is the first time they've seen him. They hadn't even met him yet, and he just appears as if from a gray, mysterious cloud. And he says, Fee, fi, fo, fum, I'm Captain Ahab, and I'm here to get the white whale. And then he gives a long speech about how the white whale took his leg. And they're like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry the white whale got your leg. You have any other thoughts you'd like to share with us? And he says to them, this whole voyage has been an elaborate trick. I set this whole thing up to trick you. You see, you thought I was just a normal whaling captain. But the truth is, I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest. We're going to track down this white whale, and we're going to get his bones and we're gonna chop him up, is what he says. In other words, he wants to get his leg back because the white whale ate his leg, and he thinks, if I can just get my leg out of the whale, maybe I can reattach it. And so he gives this crazy speech, and he riles up the crew. And then he gives them all beer, which is a sign of, basically, I'm going to give you beer, and so you have to do what I say. Something like that. Or it's more like the crew starts gulping down beer. They drink beer after beer after beer. And they're like, yay, we love beer. And that gets them all up into a frenzy. It gets them into a frenzy. And so Captain Ahab uses this opportunity to say, now that I've gotten you all riled up on beer, now I'm going to tell you about the white whale. And so he goes on to this crazy speech where he tells them about the crazy whale who took his leg. And Starbuck is like, now hold on just a minute. Vengeance on a dumb brute? You want us to get vengeance on a dumb brute? That's what he calls the white whale. He calls him a dumb brute, which frankly isn't very nice. I don't think it's very nice. But he says, you might as well just get vengeance on a brick wall or just something pointless. What are you doing? What are you even talking about? You want to get vengeance on a whale? Are you a freaking maniac? And everyone on the crew is like, oh, who cares? Let's do it. Let's track down the whale. And then Ahab is like, I will give a shiny coin. I will give a shiny coin to whoever spots the whale. And he holds up a coin, and then he sticks a knife through the coin and sticks it to the railing. And he says, whoever sees the whale is going to get this shiny coin. I will give a shiny nickel to the first person who spots the white whale. And the crew says, hurrah! And then they all drink beer. And Starbuck is sort of brooding in the corner, and he's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I've been shanghaied onto a crew of maniacs, is what he says. Sort of outdated language. This book was written in the 1600s, so it's a pretty outdated book in some ways. But it's also a beautiful book about going sailing. You see, after this scene ends, the crew sails through the beautiful ocean. And it's like an opulent crystal. It's like a beautiful gem. The ocean is as clear as a shiny nickel. And everyone looks into the sea and they say, wow, man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We are sailing. We're really doing it. We're really sailing. We're really sailing. I just can't believe that we're finally sailing. And so they set sail in search of a whale. Now, this book is made up of a number of different segments. You see, the further they get out to sea, Ishmael starts to go crazy, and he starts to talk about ancient texts, and he starts to talk about theories about whales. He talks about the history of whales. He talks about the whiteness of the whale. And all of these different mysterious segments of the novel, they paint a picture of a whale from every perspective. The psychology of the whale, the philosophy of the whale, the mythology of the whale, the religious significance of the whale, the beautiful whale. And so this is the end of the first segment of the video. Please continue watching. Thank you. I'm going to go take a break. I got to go see a movie. We'll see if I even have anything else to say about this.